Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash.
Let me take you for a ride. The passenger doors slide up and all you see is the hammer with thorn side. My levels stay high, bars in maximum health. Due to all these hyper combos, the devil may cry. Grenade launchers cave your roof. When I'm triggered like Captain Commando going rogue, armed to the saber tooth. Strap bombs across the chest, turn to scraps. All you marvel at what doesn't make Capcom. Whether you a juggernaut that caught a slug or not, you get your head peeled. Gambit's card poured and Chris bled in the red field. Wesker could die too. I threw a fireball to lit the sky blue from within, but I'm no kin to Ryu. So what you offer? What I produce in the hawk eye of the storm and knock loose the armor off any author. That goes for most writers that know this venomous heat. I spit out fiery skulls from a billion ghost riders. Can't crack parts of the Iceman Blackheart for pushing my buttons as if it was A, B, back, start forward and up and down like a stock exchange. You look at one Dr. Doom, then the other Doctor Strange.
Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash.
Boom.
Hey, yo.
How's it going, bro?
I've been hiding from I've been hiding from the world all day today.
What do you mean? What happened? Something happened?
Something happened.
What you talking about?
I don't know. What happened? Did something happen today? On the 26th of June?
I don't know, bro. I mean, my social media been blown up. Niggas talking about something. What y'all doing? Get off my phone.
Oh, man.
Nah, man, shit, we here.
Yes, man. Fans, today's the day. Cyberpunk Rhapsody, me, and Heroes album hath dropped. It's out, man. It is out. You know, me and you have talked a lot, and you know, I kind of go through a weird, you know, period of just. It's a weird feeling whenever I, you know, release an album. So I usually kind of hide for, you know what I mean? I usually kind of hide from the internet and just the public in general for a few days after I drop a project. It's weird. It's you know, it's just releasing an album is when it's a lot of work that goes into it. You know, when you spend so much time, first of all, just being in a place to create an album. You know, you don't just get there, you know, to be inspired to make an album, first of all, and then going from that to, you know, conceptualizing something in your mind, what you want it to be, and then you go from that to and you know, I'm spoiled. Hero is the greatest producer ever, but then, you know, you get
Appreciate that.
You know, the production that you're gonna start working with, and then you.
Damn, Rob Dillingham to the Spurs. That's nasty.
That's a great pick for them.
Hell yeah.
And then, you know, you go from building what you had in your mind and matching it with you know, the production, and then, you know, before you know it, everything starts coming together pretty well.
But
then
sometimes it doesn't, though.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't, right?
It can be frustrating.
But in this case, it did.
Boy, did
and then, you know, just the creative process in general. Once I go through that, and now by the time things are written, right? By the time, and you know, my creative process, I'm I'm not an in the studio guy. You know that, right? I mean, I'm here to record. You know what I mean? And usually, once everything is written and we're here and we're recording, by the time everything's been written and recorded, and the concept has been fully fleshed out and everything. By the time this has happened, this is about maybe a year or longer that's gone by, right?
Especially within this one,
within this creative process, and then now everything's done. Right now, you listen to it over and over and over again, and what do you want to fix and what do you want to add and what do you think would be better, and then on your end, the sound engineering and the mixing and the mastering and all the work that you put into it on the scientific end of everything. And now you're adding maybe a half a year, right? Maybe 6 more months. So now you have this is your baby. This is your creation that you've had within you for over a year. And then on top of that, when I write music and I release an album, they're almost, I've said this before, they're like time capsules that represent the person that I was within that time frame and how I was feeling and everything I was kind of living through in my life at the time. Most of my albums represent that, right? The person that I was
for sure
during that time. So you have this album. Nobody can hear it. You can't show anybody. It's not out, right? You keep it real close to you. And then before you know it, you get the artwork made, you get vinyl pressed up, you get CDs made. It's about to come out in a week or two. And then it's like all that build up, and then boom, one day it's just gone. And it's
so talk about, I hear you. Talk about like the intimate nature and almost like the grief process of letting it go.
That's exactly how I feel, right? And I feel like a lot of people don't understand that.
They don't. I understand it, and I'll tell you why in a second, but continue.
And that's exactly the trouble that I have with releasing an album, because it's a weird grief process of, you had this creation that you had and it was such a big part of you for the past however long.
Yeah.
And then when it's out, it just leaves you, and now you're left. I just have this super empty feeling all the time. Like I had this thing that I was really proud of, and you're almost gatekeeping it. You know what I mean?
Bruh.
It's yours, and you don't, and then it's gone, and now it's everyone else's, and now you don't have it anymore.
You don't have control over
You know what I mean?
So here's why I know exactly what you mean. I almost never sell beats, for that reason, in the sense that like I much prefer the process of like creating with somebody. Like that's why you and I got such good chemistry, because when you create art, and this I imagine Edmund probably feels similarly. I think we've actually talked about this, whether it's visual art, whether it's rapping, singing, whether it's making beats, whether it's engineering. You put your soul into it. You literally put your soul into it. It encapsulates this thing that you made. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
You made this thing, bro.
From nothing.
From nothing. You made this thing.
It's alchemy. You made this thing from ideas in your head.
Ideas, dog.
It didn't have any words.
Hey, man.
There was no picture. There was no there was no sound. And you just made it from nothing.
Hey, to borrow a quote from Avery Brooks, Ben Sisko, it's real, bro. It's an idea. You cannot destroy an idea, dog. Don't you understand? That's ancient knowledge, boy. That nigga was acting his ass off in that scene, by the way. But yeah, bro. So you created this thing, and now you have to let it go into the world, which is nice, right? Like you want to share your art with the world because there's validation. There's a way that you can express yourself, a way that you can be seen. So there's value in doing that.
And then there is value in doing that, but there's that fear that they won't
get it.
They won't get it. They won't love it like I did.
Bruh, 100%.
They won't understand it.
So this is the reason why I don't really sell beats, is because it's like, bro, I don't. And this may be pretentious on my part, and I'll take that. But sometimes it's like, bro, I don't know if I trust you to do with it what I feel like it should be done with. Whatever, right?
Yeah,
like
for sure.
And so I'll tell you how extreme it is, bro. When the album dropped at midnight, I'll tell you what I did. I immediately turned it on my television, which was a mistake because I panicked for a second. I had the Spotify app on my TV, and it sounded fine, but once I turned it up loud, it started to clip, and I was like, "Bruh, what the?"
Oh yeah, Spotify has a weird.
Yes, it normalizes.
It's got a weird setting on. Yeah,
so
you have to go adjust it.
I went into my. This was at midnight, mind you. I went to my car in my driveway and played the entire album from start to finish in the car, straight through. The entire, all 38 minutes of that motherfucker, played straight through. I did it on every single app. I did it on Spotify. I did it on Apple. I did it on YouTube TV. And that's what made me learn, like, damn, it sounds great on everything else, but Spotify. And I literally sent a message to the fans, like, bro, look. Here's how you listen to this motherfucker. Like, just to make sure they got the full experience. Because like you said, like, there's so much care you put into it. You just want it to be received as intended. And the scary part is that you don't have any control over that. Bro, I listened to that motherfucker on every single speaker that I could find in this house. I came downstairs into the basement, listened to it again. I put on my headphones, listened to it again. Sounded amazing in headphones, by the way. I learned that you had to turn off that normalizing shit, and I like told the entire SwordCast group, like, yo, fucking turn this shit off because they fucking with my mix, goddamn it, I don't like that shit. I didn't go to bed until like 2:30. Like, I was obsessing over it, bro. I was like a crazy person.
I
went
to bed at 4:00 in fear of just.
What if everybody hates this shit, bro?
But just in fear of just losing my identity of the past year and a half.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean?
So this is a real intimate look at like what the creation process is. Now, I don't want y'all to get the wrong idea. We make this music for us, but we all also make it for y'all in the sense that like this is a way for us to show you who we are, like really. More than I can tell you, more than I can talk it, this music is an expression of it. So I do music. I don't make a whole lot of money off this shit. I'm not like super famous. I think the people who matter in the city, they know me and they respect me, so that's good enough for my ego. That's good enough for me. But like a lot of this is the therapeutic ritual of creation, right? And also bonding with my brother, you know what I'm saying? Like he and I are like our legitimate brothers. Now I call this nigga's son my nephew, you know what I'm saying? A lot of that is just being into the same shit, but most of it was built off of this, like, it's an intimate connection, bro. Like this music shit is like really, really, you kind of have to bare your soul to someone in a sense.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. There's, I truly believe we could make a cohesive album and without exchanging words with each other. I believe that if we were, I don't know, say we were on some reality show or something and they like put us in a studio for months and we weren't allowed to talk or exchange any type of communication, we would make
that should probably be fire as hell, dog.
Yeah,
that should probably be dope. So yeah, right, like so you do it for the ritual, you do it for the meditation, you do it for the bonding experience. I also do it because it makes me happy, you know what I mean? Like I do it for self-care, I do it for mental health, and also like sharing it with the world in a way that like sharing it with the world is important and it's valuable, but it's also scary as fuck. You know what I mean? And
terrifying.
I think like that's the piece that you won't hear. That rappers got too much ego. They'll never tell you this. That's why y'all fuck with Noveliss, because he's introspective and he doesn't take this part of the rap. He doesn't take this part of the creative process for granted. which I think is super important because all of your favorite rappers, they all feel the same way. They just won't admit it. So yeah, that's what we've been into for the past 2 years.
Man, it's out. Cyberpunk Rhapsody.
That shit is sweet too, bro. I'm proud of it. That shit is cold.
Extremely proud of it. I've heard, and I've had a lot of people reach out to me and just tell me some great things. We were able to accomplish a lot with this project. Just as far as the concept and the features we were able to get, and it's just it just happened.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's get into some of these questions. We're gonna start with the OG.
So shout out to our fans in Discord. We are just gonna kind of answer questions that they have about the album, man, and just talk about the album for this episode. This is just a Cyberpunk Rhapsody episode, man. So that's what we're gonna get into.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna start with the OG, the boy Jubei. Shout out to Unk. He always holds us down. He can't be here, so he sent me his questions ahead of time.
Okay.
So I'm just going to read them. Noveliss mentioned the content of the album was a series of images as an early teaser. Song titles, album titles, artwork. You could tell he's like a professional interviewer.
Yeah, he's cool. I love him.
Samples, lyrics, hold strong to these images. How is it formulating all of this with two musicians that have impeccable chemistry that many wish they had? I have a similar feeling. Wait, I'm having trouble with my brain. I mean, having similar likes is only. Oh, I got you. So
I'm having trouble with my brain.
A little light dyslexia happens every now and then. So basically, the question is, how is it formulating all of this with two musicians who have impeccable chemistry? I kind of feel like we just answered that question.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the Professor Xavier gift.
Bruh. Right, my mind.
No, we are very often subconsciously on the same path, on the same page without communicating. It just happens. Sometimes the production plays such a huge part. Because there was a while when we were just kind of working on music in general, and then there's kind of a sound that gets created and through the process of us just kind of messing around with stuff, and then that ends up being that's where's that going, you know what I mean, and what's that doing, and then it just kind of turned into this whole concept of the things I've done recently, Vagabond and Book of Changes and those and the sound of those, and it just really became Heroes production, taking me from where I was at to someplace new, and really his sound really kind of dictated this project, and the things that I allowed to inspire what I was doing, all the and he talked about the images, the title Cyberpunk Rhapsody, it's very very sci-fi inspired, and Heroes production is what led me down that path, and I'm going home and I'm watching Blade Runner, and I'm watching Blade Runner 2049 and Akira and Ghost in the Shell and Aliens and Terminator, and it's just all the cyberpunk sci-fi Matrix, Everything Everywhere All at Once, all these things.
Shit, playing Cyberpunk 2077, bro. Like I'm telling you, bro. So this kind of goes into the next question. My bad. Were you complete on that answer?
You good. Yeah, go ahead.
So your mastery, so this is the next question from Ian. Your mastery in production just gets better and better to my ears. Mini sample and why can't I read? Mini sample and is the, oh no, you just worded that weird. sometimes, and I'm about to throw him under the bus, but he about to catch a stray for no reason. Sometimes it makes my dyslexia worse when people write, and because I'll be like, bro, like, am I dumb or are you dumb?
You write like how I talk?
Or like if somebody makes a typo, I'll be like, am I crazy or did you make a mistake? I can't tell. So then I get stuck. I get messed up here. Mini sample, and that's the precursor to their produced songs. You can utilize a small minute portion, which reminds me of the early days of sample machines having limited length. Those days, my bad. I didn't mean to take a shot at Jubei. My fault, bro. I'm self-conscious, and now I'm lashing out. Those days showed the creativity of the songs we love now. You prove you can do so much with less, as your diverse range and ear of sonic shines bright. And this is such a good compliment that he's giving me right now, and I'm just taking shots. I'm a fucking asshole, bro. I'm trash, dog. I'm piece of shit. This album.
What was that one clip? Hello, good morning. I'm still a piece
of garbage. Dog, yo, we need to get Bill Wirtz as our next sample, our next feature, bro. Let's go.
Bill Wirtz, man.
This album has samples of all encompasses the SwordCast. I caught, and they do not drive the entire album, yet play a pivotal role. Like jazz musicians have their key moments and solos. Do you feel that you've pushed yourself with production to your outer region at times? I would say the production was right in my wheelhouse. Like,
yeah, this is,
you know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Cause I don't just like, I know I have sort of a, damn, Matas Buzelas fell all the way to 11. Damn. Oh, he's crying. Damn.
You'll be all right, kid.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Oh, to the Bulls? That's a nice little fit for him.
Yeah, it is.
All right, so yeah, it's right in my wheelhouse. Like I know I have the representation of being the sci-fi guy. But like I started off like making boom bap shit, but I just did it with anime samples instead of soul samples. You know what I'm saying? Like I did it with video game samples instead of soul samples. So the sound was still Detroit, it was still boom bap, it was still kind of backpack J Dilla type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until later where I started to get comfortable doing some of the crazy Imogen Heap, Daft Punk inspired stuff. And a lot of that was happening here. So like there's a progression. Like it starts off kind of close to the ground, and then by the time we get to the end, we're out in space. You know what I'm saying? And that was intentional.
Yeah,
matter of fact,
sure.
you talk about like not saying anything and being able to communicate this. When I saw the order, I was like, bro, I get it.
Yeah.
I didn't have to say anything. I was like, I get it. And as a matter of fact, when we did we'll get to this at some point, but there was a song that we added, and I was like, bro, I know where it's gonna go. I don't even have to ask you. I know exactly where it fits.
What space it goes.
I know exactly where it fits.
Yeah, for sure.
Where I pushed myself was certainly there were some things with the production where I pushed myself for sure. But I think where I pushed myself the most was with the mixing and mastering, bro. Like,
yeah, definitely.
I feel very proud of the mix and master here. That's why I was obsessing over that shit when it dropped. I had to basically learn from the ground up, like, oh, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing before. I didn't have any idea what I was doing, bro. Like, I was like putting a Band-Aid on like a fucking sword gash, and like, oh no, I need to do surgery, and I didn't know how to do it. So shout out to Dr. Rod Wallace, who's a big time OG in the Ypsilanti Ann Arbor hip hop space. He really helped me out. Shout out to LO5, man. That's one of my best friends in this music shit. He's been teaching me how to do this shit. He's been in my corner from day one. And also Evan Hayward. You remember the group Tree City back in the day from Ann Arbor?
Yes.
So Evan Hayward, it was the white guy with glasses in that group.
Okay.
Dope MC. He's an engineer now, and he taught me. He like gave me really, really specific advice that was like, oh,
word. Okay.
Motherfucking see, bro.
Yeah.
And it was like, so like those, I had some really good conversations, and I basically like started over. Like I started the entire mix process over because I was using training wheels. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Like it was so bad. I don't think Isaac knows this yet. It was so bad that I went back and remixed Isaac's album. So the version that's on Spotify is not the properly mixed version, but I sent our stuff to, I didn't tell you this. I sent our stuff to a local radio guy who's, I think it's like 89.3, and he plays some of Isaac's stuff. So I gave him the new crispy versions. So hopefully he'll get our shit in rotation as well, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
So yeah, that's where I push myself, is the production for sure. All right, next question. The artwork in the title for me displays an epic form of expression through new excursions. The levitation of the ship is to new plateaus of advancement with missions to come in life, or life's path brought you to a new planet, aka new surroundings that is in the physical state. This nigga is really talking that shit, bro.
Love it.
Black, yeah. Black consciousness, metaphysical, and subconsciousness that play.
One of us.
Right.
One of us.
Whoops.
Yoga fire.
Hey,
There we
well,
go. It's been a while.
actually,
I'm rusty. Black consciousness, metaphysical, and subconsciousness that plays a part, an important role in the future of oneself and the future of children. Just my interpretation. Wow.
Love it.
But tell us, is the album title and artwork? What is the meaning of the title and the artwork?
Oh man,
I feel like he answered the question.
He did. He did a great job. But we kind of when we made the little promotional video that we had put together, I kind of talked about how the album tells the sound of the album tells an identical story through the cover and what the project sounds like. The samurai being lifted off of his current battlefield by a spaceship, and then I said, is this an abduction or is it a rescue for the purpose of showing our warrior a new perspective and a new path? This project literally, you guys are getting the stuff right now. I was ready to quit. I was going to stop making music literally after Vagabond was going to be my last project. And, the spaceship and just kind of represents Hero in general, his sound, his production, him as a person just kind of lifted me off, that battlefield that I was on and just taking me somewhere else. And that's literally what this cover means, and that's what it represents, and that's what the story that's being told through the cover. And if you listen to the album and the story parts that are after the songs, it tells that story too.
Yeah. First of all, bro, bring it in, my guy. I remember that time. It was tough. I didn't like to see you in the state that you were in, so I tried. I didn't want to be pushy, but I knew you had more stories to tell, so I wanted to make sure that we got to hear them and that you got to tell them. More importantly, forget who hears it. I wanted to make sure that you got a chance to tell them. So I tried my best not to be annoying about it, but I definitely was trying to be as encouraging as I could to try to get some more stories out, bro. And I'm happy that we were able to do this for sure. Another thing, this last question is so good, but before we get to it, you talk about the stories that's happening after each song. That was actually a very, very late addition. This happened like within a couple of weeks before we finished, and there's an Easter egg that I don't even think you know about. There's an Easter egg in these stories. This is I'm such a fucking nerd, bro.
Hey, well, actually,
there's a minor Easter egg. So, as you know, it's Noveliss and I are going back and forth right at the end of each track. Novelist's voice is normal. It has like obviously reverb on it, but if you listen to mine, there's like a ephemeral kind of like phaser effect. The representation, and I can go way deeper because I have my own like story in mind from my own like sort of canon of events for my music career that I haven't talked about yet. That'll be a good thing to talk about one day. I think Edmund knows about it. I had this really crazy like Star Trek inspired concept that's sort of like the world that all my music exists in. That's like my like Marvel 616. Yeah. So I was borrowing stories from that universe where, so like one small thing in this universe that I created is like in this world. I can't believe we haven't talked about this. This is like a whole podcast worth of stuff. So I'll just give you a bit. In this world, this is like an alternate universe where like 400 years ago or whatever, enslaved people from all over the world found the ability to leave the planet Earth. So this would have been like during enslavement. So they left the planet Earth, and how they left the planet Earth is sort of like a mystery, but I know the answer on some George R.R. Martin type shit, some Game of Thrones type shit. But like what happens is that there's this entire race of humans, most of them melanated, who have lived for 400 years outside of the oppression of like systemic racism and all that stuff. And I was using the inspiration of Cable. That's fine. So you know where I'm going with this. We've had to use these melanated, super powerful black people. We've had to use 98% of our powers to like keep this systemic shit at bay. And we still strong as fuck. Imagine what would happen if we are removed from that. And like just
techno-organic virus.
The techno-organic virus, bro. When he wasn't affected by it, he was X-Man. He was fucking Omega level mutant. Beyond Omega level. So like that was the concept that I was kind of going with. So like these future humans, these tomorrow people is what I call them, were like they were telepaths. They were like super strong, right? Like all of this.
That's incredible.
And so like the fully evolved version is like what I would call the legacy. Man, there's so much here. So legacy is like the inspiration here. These are for the Star Trek nerds.
Hey, well, actually,
the inspiration for the legacy is the Q from Star Trek, and the Q are basically like these super powerful, like godlike beings. And one of the best theories about the Q is that they're advanced humans. They're humans from like 1,000,000 years in the future. So the legacy, is like that race, almost like the Watchers or like the Celestials is actually a better comparison. And so in this, do you remember that beat that I had you rap on? It's one of my favorite beats, Legacy Speak.
Mm-hmm.
That's like my because the bass line, shout out to my boy Red who played the bass on that. The bass, there's a call and response between the keys and the bass. It's like they're talking to each other. And bro, I'm telling you, bro, I was into this shit, bro. That bass line is the sound. That's like how you receive the messages from the legacy. It's just like the funky ass bass because it's black. You know what I'm saying? The call and response is black. You feel me?
Oh my gosh.
So in my mind, the hero character in this story is a legacy.
That's fire.
And so the ethereal.
Oh my gosh.
So peep, I'm about to blow your mind, bro. The ethereal voice, like the sort of like ethereal morphing sound of the voice is like representing the like evolved nature. So what you'll notice is subtle as fuck, but what you'll notice is at the end, at your last one is track 10 or 11. It's Cyberdyne Systems. When I say, because I say next, like, you know, you're starting to believe you're the one, you're Neo, right? If you listen to your speech, there's a fade in of that ethereal sound.
Crazy.
Because now you have evolved into the legacy. You feel me? I'm telling you, bro. That's a super minor ass
plot twist.
Yeah, bro. And you had no context. Nobody had any context of this.
Goodness. Except
for maybe Edmund and Randall are the only people that I've, and Pierce, like you remember my homie Pierce, he actually helped me kind of come up with this.
That is wild.
So yeah, bro, like if you listen very, very closely, you can hear the ethereal start to come up in your voice because you are now a part of the legacy.
That is insane.
Let's go. All right, this last question is fire, then we'll get to the rest of the chat's questions. This album feels like it was birthed through everything that entails the SwordCast. Noveliss, Hero, Podcast, Discord. Is there any truth to this? Abso-fucking-lutely yes.
Yes.
100%,
for
bro.
Sure. 100%.
100%, bro. I could not, like, this really is, like, one of the first records that's, like, completely encompassed in this universe. Matter of fact, there's another, this is a slightly less of a deep cut, but in Coffee in Switzerland, there's that Ryu death sound.
When I repeat the line.
So the story behind this is, and I think if you pay attention, you might know. The story behind this is we did that concert, that like digital concert, but during COVID, and we performed this song live when it was still just like a concept. And Noveliss fucked up the he fucked up the verse. He forgot the line and like said it twice. and or something. He did something out of order. And then he looked at me because he knew he messed up and it was live. And in the background, I was like, ooh, I made the Ryu sound. So when we recorded it for real, we literally added that in as a homage to that moment.
SwordCast lore.
Yeah, that's a hot take. What do you think about this?
No, 100%. There's actual literal SwordCast lore all over this project.
Hell yeah.
So for sure.
Edmund, get out of here, man. Move.
What?
One of Edmund's first questions: who farted in the booth that wasn't caught in the recording? I don't go in there, so if anybody farted, it was him.
I'm not a booth farter, Edmund.
Niggas do be farting in there sometimes. I can't say that I've ever caught him in there farting, but I've definitely been in there and that hot box and shit was in there percolating, and I opened the door, it hit me in the face like, damn, y'all stanky ass niggas. The fuck? So here's a good question. I don't know the answer to this. This is from Omni. Funniest session y'all had doing what song?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me look at the track list here.
You got to understand, this project has been in work for like 3 or 4 years, like in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, it has, but there's some. Let me look at this track list here. Funniest session. Let's see here. Oh my gosh. There's a couple I can think of. I remember when we were doing
Sorry, real quick. Montes Bazelis is from Chicago. That's fire.
And he went to the that's probably why he was crying.
Yeah, yep. That's fire.
Going home.
I'm a root for him, man. I like his game.
Me too. So when we were so super this is another really exclusive story that you guys get to hear. So the original concept for Steel packed tight and microchip, right?
Mm-hmm.
So originally, the original idea was to get Shingo 2 on the second verse. Okay, Shingo 2 is the legendary Japanese rapper who raps the battle cry intro to Samurai Champloo.
As a matter of fact, the reason why this is true is because when I first made this beat, I had the actual battle cry. I used to play this beat and show in my beat set.
Yeah, and
I had the battle cry verse in there. Mm-hmm. I had the acapella in there. And it sounded fire.
Yes, and it sounded incredible. And stay tuned, okay? We've been talking to Shing a lot, and we're still hopefully going to be able to make this happen. Yeah. But the reason I'm saying this is funny is because when we realized it would be a while before we got the verse back from him, he's traveling a lot. He's in between Japan and Hawaii, so he's gone a lot. So I wrote another verse. The first verse is about Jin from Samurai Champloo, and the second verse is about Mugen. And I just remember when I wrote the Mugen verse, I didn't spend a lot of time with it. I wrote it and then just kind of came over to record. And I could not rap this verse. I had to rap this verse like 1,000 times and just do it over and over and over and over and over again. And that's the one verse from this project that I just remember struggling with big time and just having to keep doing it.
Yep, that was good. All the funniest, we don't have funny, like the recording sessions are fun and funny, but not because of the session. It's just because of like random bullshit happening in the background.
Facts.
I'm sometimes I'm like, well, what was that one where I kept like laughing or kept like making noise in the microphone before you were starting?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
This was recent. I can't remember what song it was, but I was a menace, bro.
Sometimes I'll be in there and he'll just be carrying on like I'm not recording music, reacting to videos,
right? Watching the Pistons games,
just being loud and I don't hear it. So.
My bad. All right, Edmund. Oh, this is actually a good question by Edmund. Who was contacted to be a feature but fell through? I guess we kind of answered that. Schedules couldn't align and didn't mesh.
Shingo 2.
There's another one. Do we want to say the other one or do we want to hold on to that one?
We can say that one.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Royce.
And Royce. Okay, Shingo 2 and Royce. I think
Royce was actually he was the first. Well, I don't even want to say that.
Yeah,
Royce was supposed to be on there.
Royce was another one.
Yeah.
But it was really. This was really about. Had to get Mega Ran on it. That's out of every rapper. He's like a big brother. That is my guy, Mega Ran.
Facts.
So I met Blue for the first time. I was doing this hip hop festival. I think it was in Ohio, and he was there, him and Exile. And this is the first time that we talked, and it was really dope because he was already a fan of mine, which I had no idea. Hard. And I was like, "You're like one of my favorite rappers ever."
Yeah, man.
So then, what always happens is you exchange, numbers, and everybody says, we need to do something, right? It never happens. Then I was on tour with my group, and we were doing this hip hop festival called the Royal Arena, and it was in Czech Republic. Mm-hmm. And Blue and Exile were actually headlining one of the stages at this festival. And I ran into him again, and and this is kind of some good advice and I'm not saying it should be this way, but this is kind of good advice for other artists. Usually when you run into another artist on the job, right, doing a show somewhere, doing a festival, and you're out of town, out of the country, out of whatever state, I feel as if the working together energies are more aligned there. You know what I mean? And then you have a better, we talked and then, when we got back, it happened pretty quick,
Yep.
And now me and Blue talk all the time, and he, I've done a couple features for him. He's a really, really good dude. And he's one of my favorite rappers of all time. That feature was a must to get. And then of course Elzai was.
Yo, we had to. Elzai has been a dream. He's been a dream bucket list guy for both of us forever.
Yeah, for sure.
I've had the honor to have worked with him before with Valid, with our guy Valid, on this song called Bottled, which was great. Like that was amazing. This one I feel like was a little bit more close to the heart because like I was a featured producer on Valid's record. That was his record. You know what I'm saying? Right. This was our record. And to have him on there, it just felt a little bit more special. Shout out to Valid too, that's our guy.
Yeah, man.
So yeah.
And then the Afro feature was
that one surprised me.
Yeah, I just love him. I think he's awesome. And then we just kind of same thing. Just kind of ended up talking and just ended up happening. You know what I mean? So
wasn't there? Didn't we talk briefly about a Daylight?
There was almost a Daylight feature as well. Shout out to Daylight, one of the.
I didn't know Daylight be hooping too.
All time. He can hoop.
I seen his videos. He's
got real. He's got real game.
No, he can hoop for real. Yeah. Like he don't just be one of them. He could. He's he cold.
A high level hoop.
He could go. He can go.
Yeah. So shout out to Daylight too, man.
Yeah. All right. We kind of answered this question already. This is from Mischief. What was the inspiration for the theme of the album?
Oh yeah, we got into that already.
All right, so this is from Victor Von Doom. What are our personal favorite songs off the album? That's tough. I can't pick one, so I'm gonna cheat and pick two.
No, you gotta pick one.
Damn. All right. I will pick one. So
you get to pick one, and then you get an honorable mention.
Okay. So my honorable mention is Hyper Combo.
Yeah, man.
Hyper Combo.
It's just it's such a you guys don't understand. Like Elzai is one of my top 5 favorite rappers of
all time.
Okay, so is Blue. Elzai and Blue are both of my top 5 favorite MCs.
Yes.
When you get a feature from a rapper that you feel so strongly about, there is always rappers write a lot, and they have throwaway verses, and they have verses laying around. So when you get something like what Blue and Elzai did,
Man.
and you know, and obviously Meg Ran too and Afro, but just me and Ren had to talk about the concept of the song, so you know it's a little bit of a different situation. But
Yeah.
when you're just sending the record to them,
man,
check this out, and then Elzai sends back what he sent back,
bruh. Here's the thing, bro.
I melted.
Facts. And here's the other part. he could have sent us a throwaway verse, and we would have been thrilled. We would have been like, hell yeah, bro. Like, we would have been absolutely beside ourselves. But this nigga, and bro, really, bro. Shout out to, I talked to Elzai's younger brother earlier. I don't think he likes to publicize that, so I won't say his name. But he flat out told me, like, y'all had my big brother in there talking about Marvel vs. Capcom, and that shit had me cracking up,
bro.
Like, because Elzai he's probably about maybe 8 to 10 years older than us. He's a little older, and I don't get the impression that he's a gamer like that. But he went and did his research, and like delivered, bro. Like, just absolutely delivered.
Incredible verse. And you know, when I met, so I've met Elzai over the years a couple times. I never had that connecting moment with him until we both did a festival out in Worcester, a hip hop festival. Worcester's out a city by Boston. We did a hip hop festival out there, and me and him really kicked it that day, and that's how this happened. You know what I'm saying? So again, same thing I was kind of said earlier. Running into, you know, your favorite artist that you really want to work with on the job, sometimes it makes a difference.
For sure. Yeah, that was dope, man. Another thing, so that was my honorable mention. My number one is the protagonist. And I'll say, so one, like the rapping on that motherfucker. Like I had to text him this. Like sometimes, because you know we work together so often, I feel like I make the mistake, and I shouldn't do this, and I'm gonna work on not doing this. But I feel like sometimes I take his talent for granted, just because like he's normalized being excellent at rapping, which is like, it's like I shouldn't do that. So sometimes I forget to give him props. I sat back and listened to this shit. This nigga was talking crazy on this and he was talking so much shit on this bitch. I was like, dog, what the fuck? I texted him, I was like, bro, I don't care who it was. I don't care if it was Lupe Fiasco. I don't care if it was Jay-Z. I don't care if it was pick your favorite rapper. It doesn't matter. Wasn't nobody out rapping you on this track, period. Nobody. So for on that piece, so I got to give him his props there. The other piece is that, like, I actually made this beat a while ago, probably about a year and a half ago. And this was in a time where I was in a major creative slump, bro. Like this was during the time where I was kind of grieving my parents a little bit, and I just was like not feeling it, bro. And like for me, I have really high standards for my beats, bro. Like that's one of the reasons why I'm so slow with production. Like, cause I don't let shit get. If it's not like about to be sweet, like
I'm slow too.
Yeah.
This album took a long time, and it's got 12 songs.
Yeah, facts. So I have this I have this rating system in my head where it's like almost like wrestling, right? Like a 5-star match, 5-star beat is like the top. That's like an elite beat. Yeah. And they're rare. They're rare for me. I know I talk a lot of shit, but I know I'm good at this shit. I'm dope. I'm a really good producer. But even for me, they're rare. And so most of the beats that y'all hear, in my opinion, who cares what I think, but in my opinion, most of them are like 4 stars. Almost every beat on this record is a 4-star, except for a couple. But the name of this beat what was the name of the beat?
Don't tell me.
Fuck, why can't I remember this?
Was it Kaneda Light Rider?
Nope, that was a different. Oh, nope.
Was it?
Yes, it was.
I think it was.
It was
yeah.
Kaneda Light Rider. Yes, Kaneda Night Rider. Yes, yeah. That beat was the first like unambiguous 5-star beat in my own rating system. It doesn't matter what I think. I think all these beats are fantastic. I'm sure other people might think other beats are better. I get it. That's fine. But for my taste, that was the first beat where I was like, I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm back, bro. Cause remember you came over. There's an Instagram video of me playing this beat. And I was like, I'm nice, bro. I started talking shit. Cause it was just like, it was a very cathartic moment for me because like, when you have slumps like this, sometimes you wonder, like, damn, am I ever gonna get it back? Am I ever gonna get it back? Or did I ever have it to begin with? Was I
syndrome?
Bruh, was I just getting lucky the whole time?
Bro.
And crazy. When this beat hit, I was like, nah, I'm cold, bro. I'm a motherfucking Wait, did I tell you this story about this is a really, really quick aside. Did I tell you that Luca story about him
yes, when he hit
that nigga hit the 3 and was like, I'm a motherfucking asshole. Because English wasn't his first language.
That is hilarious.
That's how I felt, bro. I'm a motherfucking asshole, bro. I'm nice at this shit, dog. This shit is not by accident. I do not need to have imposter syndrome. I'm back.
That is such a funny trash talk line.
So yeah, for that reason,
I'm a jerk.
I'm a fucking jerk. For that reason, that's my favorite song because like it was just like one of my best beats ever and one of his best verses ever. Like
for sure,
just completely meshing.
Yeah, those rhymes on that song are crazy. I think for me, my honorable mention. Oh, I'm attached to a lot of these songs, man. I think my honorable mention favorite song, I think I would have to say. Is Tales of a Samurai Part 4. I think that's my honorable. Just, the whole pantheon of the Tales of a Samurai songs that I've, been doing, and I think this is by far the best one. And then you got the Legend of Korra sample. This, I very vividly remember the first verse on Tales of a Samurai Part 4, spoiler alert, is about me. I included myself as one of the characters, and when I wrote this verse, I was going through a lot of stuff in my life, and I just remember the night you made this beat, and I don't know if you remember, but I sat out in the car and wrote the verse in the car, and then came in and we recorded it, and it was just it was a lot. So that would be there's a lot of fun behind the scenes details here. So originally this song
had a whole different lineup.
They had a different lineup. The other two swordsmen were Tanjiro from Demon Slayer and who was the other? Ichigo from Bleach.
Yep.
And it ended up becoming Guts and Ahsoka from Star Wars, and just ended up being something I really, really loved.
Here's another Easter egg. You would have this was like a once in a literally you had to be there. Noveliss actually performed this song once.
I did.
I think it was the old version.
Yeah, it was the old version. Yeah.
But I did a beat set at the old Miami, and I brought him up as like a surprise at the end, and I played this song in my beat set, and he rapped the verse. Which is
only time ever.
Yep.
But I think my favorite song is still Pack Tight and Microchip, man.
That would be my second honorable mention.
The beat is amazing, and of course everyone knows how I feel, how you feel, how we feel about Samurai Champloo and Nujabes as well. And this song just is, I think it's my favorite.
Yep.
For sure.
Can't go wrong with that. All right. Hardest track to make. This is from
Is there a video for still Pack Tight and Microchip?
Huh.
I don't know.
Maybe not. It would be cool if we were dressed in like Cyberpunk, though. That would be fire.
And it would be cool if we shot it on a roof.
That shit'd be hard, dog.
That would be cool.
Well,
anyway,
whatever.
I don't know.
Who is? This is Joe, isn't it? Sad Viking fan.
Yeah.
Yes, that's Joe. Shout out to Joe.
Joe, hardest. We don't have to be sad no more. We got JJ McCarthy. We got Justin Jefferson with the extension. Things are looking up. Got Dallas Turner.
Not too quick though. Let us win a Super Bowl first, then y'all can do whatever y'all want.
If the Lions win a Super Bowl before the Vikings, literally, that would. Oh no.
Let us at least get to a Super Bowl.
No, because I haven't even been to one.
What you mean? The Vikings never been to a Super Bowl,
bro? In the 70s, they've never.
The purple people
in
eaters?
In my life,
Yeah, fair.
NFC Championship loss in 98, NFC Championship loss in 2000, NFC Championship loss in 2010, NFC Championship loss in 2016.
That's
so,
brutal.
nah.
Okay, well, we'll see what Jared Goff had to say about that. Hardest track to make.
Oh, that's the protagonist. The backwards stuff, and then
yeah.
if you listen to the verse, it's pretty much, it's a lot of Doom lore, but it's also I love Tenet. Tenet's one of my favorite movies, and it's a lot of Tenet. You know what I mean? Not just the terminology, but the concept of Tenet and the time inversion. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the verse was, and the things I was talking about was being said backwards. So that was a hard verse to write.
For sure.
But I would have to say that.
Hardest beat to make, I guess, is how I'll interpret that question. There was one beat that didn't actually make the cut. I wonder if we'll share a version of that one day. But
Oh yeah, we should.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
That beat was hard for me to get right. Another one that has had many lives and many versions is Legendary Experiments. It's been about 3 or 4 versions of that whole song. Yeah, like there's a whole
song that exists of Legendary Experience that has nothing to do with Metal Gear Solid.
There's literally an entirely different version of the song, like top to bottom, whole different version of the song, and it also features Mega Ran. Their new verses, new hook, everything, bro. That version was cold.
It
though.
was still good, but this concept and this idea is way better.
Yeah, I would say probably those two were the toughest ones for me, just because, like, you know, my creation process is not linear. Right. It's not even cyclical. It's just random. So, right. Okay, Edmund with another ridiculous question. Why wasn't Cloud on the track?
Can we ban him?
Right. Move! He was present for every recording session, so that's good enough.
He had his chance.
Then I randomly answer a question about X-Men here. Somebody asked me about Iceman and his real powers. That was from...
Yes, answer it.
Yeah. Well, I already did.
Okay.
So his real powers are he can control moisture at a subatomic level. So it's not just ice. He can do any type of moisture.
That's so cool that somebody just threw an X-Men question.
And then Emma Frost was the person who helped him discover that. All right. Favorite beat, I already talked about that. How did each feature make it? Another decent question by Edmund. How did each feature make it on? Who made the call? I feel like we answered that though.
Yeah, we kind of did. They were sought out. None of them were random. You know what I mean?
Yeah, intentional. Another crazy question by Edmund. If you won't let Cloud get on the track, maybe the Cats. Get out of here. Move. 2 minutes, bro. Get out of here. Penalty box.
Bro. I just picture him getting thrown out and then coming back in with like a mustache.
or we throw him out.
More questions.
But this is even better. We throw him out like Barney out of the Moe's bar, and by the time we come back in, he's already back in there.
Hey, we have some masterful meme makers in the Discord.
Yeah.
Somebody please make that Barney and Mo gif with Edmund's face on his body.
All right. So what was the vibe this is from Mischief. What was the vibe in the studio when you all made Legendary Experiments? That Snake Eater flip, the rhythms in that track is goated already. Appreciate it. We kind of answered that question already.
I think when the change happened,
yeah,
it was pretty exciting
for sure. It was actually your idea, bro. Like I put so here's some more insider knowledge. I put the Snake Eater like verse at the end.
Yeah,
I put that in just for beat sets. Like I didn't, and it was your idea to keep it in as like a part of the song. So yeah, that was cool. And the concept is super fire. So like it was definitely exciting when we got Rand's verse. Super.
Also funny, so when I first started, obviously I love Raiden and he's my favorite character in Metal Gear, but I actually started writing a Snake verse first because I was gonna do both of them, and then I was like, wait, duh, Mega Ran needs to be on it because he was on the original, you know what I mean, the original non-Metal Gear version of the song. So
yeah,
that's how that happened.
All right, Edmund, this is a half decent question. Would you ever release the outtakes to the public? No, I wouldn't, and I'm sure you wouldn't want to either.
What do you mean by outtakes?
Like, I guess what he means is like the verses where you fuck up.
That would actually be hilarious. I think if there was video, yes, but without video, probably not.
It's not as funny without the video.
It's funny with the video. It's funnier with the video.
He'd be freaking out. Like we've done a couple of streams, but we've done a stream where we've recorded on stream before, but he was conscious of the fact that he was being recorded, so he was very much in control. But like,
I'm pretty hard on myself.
And then this nigga, bro, he'll be like,
I'm pretty hard on myself.
You and Doss the artist do this shit where y'all will record a verse, and then be like, I hate it. And then record an absolutely identical verse and be like, yeah, that's the one.
Wait, no, stop, because it's the same as all the production stuff that I don't hear.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It's probably some
This dude. First of all, okay, another story. My fellow artists.
Oh shit.
It is so hard. It is so much work to just submit an album with all the proper credits and the
I legitimately felt bad about
and the ISR and the IRSC codes and the UPC codes and all the credits and they're all it's a tedious thing to submit a
I pooped my pants.
No,
actually, I pooped his pants.
We had the masters in a folder, had listened to it over and over and over and over and over again. Everything was cool. I submitted the project, a few weeks before it was gonna come out, and everything was cool. And then I get a text from him saying, You gotta take the project down because I heard
that's not exactly what I said. I didn't know that you had to take the whole song down. I said there's one track, there's the intro, there's an instrument missing, and we need to re-upload it. But I didn't know that meant you have to take the entire thing down. So yep, I shit the bed on that. Here's the thing though, in my defense, the version. I mean, I can't really defend myself. But I will say that the version that was in the folder.
I can't really defend myself.
I fucked up because the version that was in the folder was the one that was not complete. So, but I didn't know because it still sounded good. But then I accidentally, just because I wasn't paying attention, I accidentally listened to the first version of it it was like a rough draft. And I was like, yo, this shit sounds way better than the version that's in the Dropbox. What the fuck is the difference? And there was a whole percussion line that was missing, and had to put it in there, bro.
Facts.
My bad.
That's all good.
I'm trash. Yeah. So,
oh my gosh.
Edmund, how did you get back in here, bro? I thought we kicked you out. Did anyone record from a box during Legendary Experiments? Did anyone wear a bandana? And did you buy an alligator head? Those of you who don't play Metal Gear Solid, these are all accessories in the game.
Oh, hilarious. That was funny.
I think this is from me. This is from Tyrone Biggums. Was it weird? One, was it weird for you to get in the booth and record the quotes at the end of the song?
We joke so much because I don't do anything technical, so whenever he goes in do something, I get to sit in the chair.
And I had to spell it out to him, like literally press R.
How do I not delete the entire album?
Whoops!
Oh,
The whole computer exploded. My bad.
Man. And then of course once I do one thing, I say I'm the producer now, and
Yeah.
I get all the producer credits.
It wasn't weird for me. I had to find characters. I had three different.
I was gonna say, well, because you was in there.
Yeah.
He was in there going between a couple.
I have 3 different characters I was channeling. I was channeling Morpheus, obviously. I was channeling Worf from Star Trek Next Generation, and I was channeling Morpheus a little bit. Wait, did I say him already? Yeah, Morpheus, and then Captain Sisko from Star Trek, from Deep Space Nine. And 2, did you already have samples in mind, given the themes, or did you have one in the bag, or did you search for them? So a lot of these I had in mind already. I think the only one that was a sample suggestion was Maki Zenin. Actually, no, that's not true.
No, the only one that was a suggestion was Cyberdyne System.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I when I was being obsessed with all this sci-fi stuff, I wanted him to sample the Terminator theme song. And was kind of specific too, I love Judgment Day, but the intro in the first movie is a little
it's just, like spookier kind of.
Yeah, I like it better.
It's less like actiony kind of.
Yeah.
A rare good question from Edmund. What's the most shocking thing about the album? The thing that surprised you, either of you, the most? A feature, a lyric, a part of the beat, a reference?
Elzai verse.
Facts.
Not getting it, but just what it is, what it became.
Just when I tell you that, like, he really didn't have to do what he did.
Facts,
like,
man.
and the fact that he did it for us is one. It shows that he respects us, which is dope. Like, if he didn't give a fuck, he just would have been like, all right, nigga, here, get out of my face. But no, like, he cared enough to like be additive to the experience, which means that he respects us, man. I love that. That's dope. Back to the penalty box for Edmund. I think he means this as a compliment, though. Will you be getting into voice acting or reading audiobooks now? No.
I would actually love to be a voice actor. I think I would be good at it.
I think you would too. I would be good in like a very niche role, but I think you would be able to do it pretty well. All right, so the vibe of the album, this is from Mischief. The vibe of the album gives me that both of y'all really tried to make this the best piece of work that y'all have ever done or worked on before. In my opinion, y'all did that. Personally, what does it take to achieve that, and how did you reach that mindset? It's a great question.
Good question. I would say organically. I don't think we tried to do that. I think it happened, and as it was happening, we were conscious that it was happening, so you kind of subconsciously elevate and just stay at that level, you know what I mean? And you are mindful of what things sound like, and you don't want anything to not feel like it belongs.
I agree. I got nothing to add to that. That was great. Did y'all cut any songs at the last minute? Not at the last minute, but yes.
Yes, but not at the. I was just about to say the exact same thing.
This is from M. Jefferson, by the way. His next question is, any features that you couldn't make happen?
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Royce and Shingo too.
Yeah. Stay tuned though for one of those guys. We'll see.
Yep.
Song you had the most fun creating? That's a good question.
Oh, that's a good question. Honestly, I had a lot of fun when you played that Steel Pack Titan Microchip song. I mean, it's my favorite song, but when you played it and it had Shingo 2, the
verse,
because remember we sent it to him, like that, and he thought it was sweet.
Because the original idea for that song was to use the original hook. Yeah, we were gonna use the hook from Battle Cry,
and he had kind of suggested that he just has to have a great relationship with the label that song came out on, so he kind of didn't want to do that.
Can you imagine that though, bro? That would have been so fire, dog.
So then I ended up, writing a hook for it and sending it back to him, and he loved it. So
yeah. For me, I would say that one, and also, we didn't tell this story, bro. This goes to show how long versions of this have been ongoing. the creation of coffee in Switzerland.
Oh yeah.
That was, you want to talk about organic? Like this,
that was
like I think we had just finished the podcast or something. You came over for something, and this was back when you were still like injured.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking about this Samurai Champloo song that I couldn't conquer. I couldn't get the sample.
Yes, yeah.
And I was like, man, I could never quite figure this shit out.
God, that's it. That part is so good too, man.
So it is. So we started, I just was like, man, let me play around on this motherfucker. And I started making a beat, and this nigga was, I remember this was at the old house in Highland Park. And I just so happened to turn around, and he was just, that nigga was just sitting on the ground, like with his crutches leaning up against the ground, or leaning up against the wall, and he was like writing the song as we spoke. And I think we recorded it the same day.
Which I don't usually do.
That never happens. Shout out to my boy Gary Greenlee, though. We used to do all our shit like that. He was a master at just writing as soon as you heard it. But yeah, it came together super organically. It was a different version of the beat. I've added to that beat like over the course of some time. But yeah, it was, because at first it was very much like a loop.
It was a loop, yeah.
It's still the reason why that beat only has the drums in it like every 8 bars is because it originally existed as almost like a Alchemist style, just like straight loop, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I would say that was probably my funnest song to do. Which track came together the easiest? Which was the most difficult? So again, good question by Edmund Rare. I don't know, man. I think that Coffee in Switzerland was pretty easy.
Yeah, I don't think any of them were difficult. Maybe just in the sense of waiting to get features back, and then there's always that judgment call of, do we keep, you know what I mean? Do we keep waiting? Do we keep waiting, or do I just write another verse, and you know what I'm saying? And do we just end up doing it that way? That kind of happens when it comes to features and stuff. The hardest to write for me was the Protagonist song was the hardest to write for me. Also, you know what else was kind of hard to write? Well, as much as I love Berserk, it was hard to write the Guts verse for Tales of the Samurai Part 4 in a way where, because Berserk is Berserk, you know what I mean? So to try to write it in a way where it still felt like it fit in that beat, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
That was a bit of a challenge.
The hardest song, I'll answer this question a different way. The hardest song for me to mix and master was definitely Enter the Final Lap.
Enter the Victory Lap with Blue, yeah.
Bruh. Because that bass is so heavy.
Yeah, it is.
And I just could not get that shit right. Like, I was pacing. I was going back and forth to my car like 20 times to get that shit right.
Hilarious.
The one that was the easiest to mix was probably... Oh, it was Eye of Thundera. That one came out crispy as fuck the first time.
Oh, did it?
And I used that as like the measuring stick for all the rest of them. So that was good. Next question. This is another good question by Edmund. How satisfying was it to release Hyper Combo? Was it some level of, these motherfuckers can finally stop asking when we're going to release the intro song? We didn't really have a plan to be honest. We never talked about releasing the intro until we put it on the record.
Yeah. That's
like, I don't think it was ever going to come out like as a single.
Until we made that happen.
To be honest, we really wasn't thinking about y'all niggas. Keep y'all can turn that shit on the podcast. Turn the podcast on right quick. You want to hear it. So this is from Shogun.
Oh man.
What was the process for songs like Legendary Experiment and Still Packed Tight in Microchip? Like the idea of flipping Battle Cry Snake Eater first happened. Then Nav wrote his verse to fit them, or vice versa.
Snake Eater was wrote the verse to fit them.
Yep.
Same with Still Packed Tight in Microchip too.
Yep. I mean, so again, when I made Still Packed Tight in Microchip, it was sort of like a Nujabe's sort of homage beat. So here's another thing. I don't even know if we talked about this. A lot of these beats, I was kind of making my own I was gearing up to make a instrumental album, a new instrumental album.
Mm-hmm.
That may or may not still happen, or it might take a different form, because there was a couple of joints that were going to go on that album. But then when Nav came to me with the idea of like, I want this to be our album together, I was like, it made me feel very comfortable to add those songs to this compilation.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So, for example, the Protagonist, that beat was going to be on my solo joint. Jobu Tapaki was going to be, all the ones that are like really, really like super out there and super spacey. Those were the ones that came in later. Conceptually came in later. But yeah, so that and the Steel Pack Titan Microchip was going to be one of them as well. And then there's like 3 or 4 other ones that y'all niggas ain't heard yet. Unless you come to a beat set, I've played a few of them. There's a certain robot who may or may not have sung the hook on one of the tracks on this song, maybe number 8 perhaps, who I might be doing a project with maybe at some point in the future. That's already sweet as fuck. And Noveliss may or may not have heard a couple of them joints, and them bitches is hard as hell.
They are very hard.
So I don't know if, or I don't know what a new quote unquote instrumental album will look like for me. I really like working with artists. Like I like working with a vocal instrument, whether it be a rapper or a singer, and I kind of want to stay in that space for a while. So I'm sure there'll be a time where I'll put out like another dusty ass, just kind of boom bappy ass. You know what I'm saying? Pissy hallway ass beat tape or something. But I think the stuff that I'm doing now is more collaborative music. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So long story short, Steel Pack Titan Microchip was going to be on whatever that instrumental project was going to be, but I liked it better when we started to rap on that motherfucker. So
facts.
And again, just to give full context, like when Nav came to me with the idea of like, yeah, I want you to drive. I want you to drive this ship. And I was like, all right, bet. I appreciated it. I told them this. If y'all heard the one of the pieces of promo we did, I was super grateful. Because I talk a lot of shit about being a good producer, but I don't really have an ego when it comes to like working with other artists, especially artists that I respect. So I was totally willing to be like, bro, nigga, you're a novelist, bro. Like, whatever you want to do, we got it. But when he trusted me to drive, I was like, all right, man, let's do it. So it was at that point where I brought in some of these other joints that were, and I was kind of like, all right, if you want me to drive, nigga, we going up there. and so we did, and that's where that Cyberpunk Rhapsody kind of theme came from. So and that's when I brought those funky spacey beats into the mix, and it felt like that's where they always were supposed to be. So all good. Damn. Okay, this is from Cloud Strife. Did you guys write or rework a whole beat, a song midway after feeling it didn't work? Yes.
Legendary Experience.
Yep. That song was called something totally different. Had everything about it was different. Even the beat was slightly different.
The content was different. Yeah.
Dog, Victor Von Doom is playing with fire here. He's kidding, but he asked jokingly, when is the next album coming out? Right. Flip the fucking table over. Matter of fact, I'm finna put that meme here.
Oh, jeez. Hilarious.
All right. So getting close to the end here finally.
Funny.
This is from Tyrone Biggums. Given this album has an overarching theme, did it give you guys any ideas for any other themed album in the future? An X-Men themed record will be fire. That's a hard ass idea.
I mean, yeah. I mean, doing concept. I love doing concept projects.
I will say this. It did give us an idea, but I'm not finna tell y'all what it is.
Yep.
So, okay. Matt, this is from M. Jefferson. This Dune record keeps coming up. It's not a terrible idea.
That would be some sweaty.
Bruh. Fucking
Hey. Well, actually,
Star Wars theme one would be fire too. Yeah, I like the Dune. Star Wars is
Dune is a little more.
It's a little more cerebral.
Yeah.
Star Wars is just like, all right, nigga, y'all some nerds. Okay, all right, we get it. Because I mean, it's just been done so often. It's like, it's, with all due respect, it's like Naruto raps. Like, okay,
Yeah.
we get it.
What else you got?
Y'all niggas discovered anime in 2006. I get it. I understand. Okay. I actually did. Oh, that's a throwback. So Cloud Strife says, Hero flipping the X-Men animated theme sample would be dope. I've done that before. I played it at a beat battle 1,000 years ago. It was a hit back then, but it does not. I will not look for it. I will not try to find it. It does not hold up. This was like in 2010, so niggas didn't care about mixing and mastering. But I did. It was fire though. I was inspired by what is that Flying Lotus beat? Can't think of it, but it was dope. I'll try to find it, and if I'm brave enough, I might play it. But it's old, bro. As a matter of fact, I can't. Matter of fact, bro. I don't think so. Just know that I made it, and in 2010, I thought it was dope.
It exists.
Yeah.
Funny.
M. Jefferson, thoughts on the pick?
Oh, Pistons.
Yeah. I'm cool.
The NBA draft is on.
I'm cool. I'm cool with Ron Holland as long as it wasn't one of them big white boys. Donovan Clingan in particular. That's the only thing that I was not feeling. All right, so this is from King. Why can't I see his name? Fuck. Bruh, what is this? Is it just K now? What the fuck's going on? Why can't I see anybody's name?
I have no idea.
All right, I'm gonna look on my phone. Shit is.
Man. Bruh, what?
Uh-oh.
The Spurs traded Dillingham to the
to
Wolves.
I saw that. Yeah,
I didn't know. That was a good pick for them.
I agree. Well, they already got Stephon Castle.
Yeah,
Maybe that's what they're thinking. But I like Dillingham better than Castle. I can't lie.
Yeah, that's...
The fact that he can't shoot scares me.
Yeah, that's true.
Damn. All right, King Mizza. What were you visualizing in your mind as you were making the beat for Maki Zenin? Well, I watch anime to go to bed. Those are my lullabies. And the one I'm watching right now, this is actually pretty interesting anime, bro. Go Go Loser Rangers, dog. Have you watched that?
Go Go Loser Rangers?
Yeah, bro.
No.
It's an anime. What's that genre called? The Power Rangers. That is called a.
Tokusatsu or Toka.
Yeah,
Tokusatsu.
Yes, but there's Toka. That's the name of the series, but that Sentai.
Oh, Sentai.
Yeah,
Super
it's
Sentai.
Super Sentai anime.
Yeah.
That has like, it's almost like The Boys, but for Super Sentai. Like, what if the Power Rangers were like low-key evil?
Oh, I need to watch that.
It's pretty interesting.
Go Loser Rangers.
It's pretty
That's
interesting.
hilarious.
It's kind of like a comedy-ish a little bit, but it's kind of cool. But I was watching Jujutsu Kaisen. I kind of stopped watching it, but I just really like the ending theme, and I found myself like hearing it in the middle of the night. Not all. Eventually, my TV would turn off, but like I would hear it, and I thought, man, this sample is beautiful, but it makes me kind of sad though. Like it's very like, and also the way that it's animated as well. Like that outro, is fire. It's super fire. And I just kind of was like, man, I love this sound, but it's also making me sad. How can I make it not make me sad anymore? And so I flipped it. and it doesn't make me sad anymore. And so the question for you, Noveliss, is, as you were putting the scriptures together, that's hard, bro. As you were writing up them scrolls, nigga. That's so dope, bro. Yo, shout out to King Mizza for referring to rap verses as scriptures. That is fire. And what was your creative process like during the creation of the album? You talked a little bit about that, but
I used to, years ago, I used to write all the time for the sake of writing, as an exercise almost. But I'm kind of in a place now where I only write when there's a goal, or if there's a project that I'm working on.
Yeah.
So when my creative process is just Hero really drove on this one, like he said. So I get to, he sends me something. And this project was really just about letting all the cyberpunk and sci-fi things I was into at the time inspire this project. You know what I mean? And just speaking to the Maki song, Maki's just my favorite Jujutsu Kaisen character, and the beat. I wanted to have it be something about Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm a big fan of it, and Maki's just kind of a character that I really like, but also understand and kind of identify with. So I made it about her.
Also, you want to talk about being on the same page? I named this beat Domain Expansion. And I was like, as soon as he recorded the hook, I was like, bro, that's literally exactly what I was thinking the hook was going to be. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it wasn't exactly a hook. It was more like a
bridge.
Like a bridge. Yeah.
But man. So
one thing about Noveliss is he don't give a fuck about 16 bars.
About song structure.
No,
that is very true.
There were a few songs where I had to like kind of change the configuration of the beat to match, because this nigga just kept rapping.
Have I ever annoyed you with that?
No.
Just so people that don't know this about me, I make songs with zero structure. I don't.
Yes.
I don't count bars. I don't.
You don't annoy me with it, and here's the reason why. Because most of the time, you're so good at rapping that you kind of know where 16 bars are intuitively. So most of the time, it's fine. There are a few times where it's like, nah, I'm gonna rap until I'm done. Y'all niggas wait. And then there are some times where we're like, all right, I'm finished. But no, it's not. It is not annoying at all, because it's not like you stop at like bar 11 or some weird ass shit. It's always in like a multiple of 4 where I can easily make an adjustment. So no, it's all good.
Yeah, I make very unstructured music.
Who did the cuts on Victory Lap?
Oh, shout out to
that's by Steamboy.
DJ Ill Digits, man, from Cooley High. That's my dude. Great guy. Actually, Cooley High in general, man. Those are some really good people, man.
They're in North Carolina, right?
North Carolina, yeah. Raleigh. Yep. I have a lot of history with them. With my group, we've kicked it with them a lot. Actually, when I was in Europe one time, DJ Ill Digits was out there, and he actually spun for us on a few of our shows out there. He's a good dude, man. Shout out to him.
This is from JW91. We kind of answered this question already, but how was the recording process? Did things come together pretty easily, or did it take time? Yes. Period.
Yes to all those.
Yeah.
It was organic. It was good, and it took time. It took a while.
Organic doesn't necessarily mean quick. It just means
it was natural.
It was, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? Exactly. It was natural, 100%. All right, from Drip Sensei. I thought we were almost done, but these niggas keep.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Yeah, not that we are tired of y'all or nothing, but just saying. Do you create an overall concept, theme, or story for an album before you create the album?
That's a good question.
And name it, or is it something that comes to you during or after the creation?
I think in this case, it was definitely we kind of spoke about it earlier, the way that this creative process happens. I think usually the conception starts with the concept and a working title, you know, which then kind of drives your focus into what the sound is going to be like, and what, you know what I mean, and what you want the project to eventually become in the end. But I think definitely kind of visual, like thinking of a concept and then a working title before everything else happens.
I agree.
But then there's been times where, you know, Vagabond was the opposite. You know what I mean? I was just kind of writing these songs and was super obsessed with the Vagabond manga, and that's how that happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, and sometimes it depends. Sometimes it can go either way.
Yeah. I think for me, I feel the same way, because like this project in some way, shape, or form had a few different lives. Like there were some of these songs were in a different collection and might have gone in a different direction, but naturally ended up here. And I think that this is where it was supposed to end up for sure. So this is Brody One Kenobi to Edmund. Bro, why aren't you interviewing people for a living? And then Edmund's response is, "Oh, because that's because I know Hero just so well enough to toe the line between annoying him and entertaining him." Facts. This is 100% true. That is what's happening now.
Oh my god.
Okay. From Brody One Kenobi, who was grinding Diablo 4 like a good nerd, my man.
Hey, well, actually,
I feel you, bro. I don't play Diablo 4, but I know what it's like to grind a game. Just because you got to get that fucking, I need them stats, bro. I feel it. Questions that I had were all asked. So all I have is a request for a Discord exclusive vinyl. Interesting idea.
Like that.
Something we'll think about. Edmund just annoying me more. He put a gif of him, of a woman with a megaphone in front of a microphone. That is funny. Then for fantasy stuff, y'all could have a scoreboard for the sword chord. I don't know what that means. Maybe that was a typo. And then maybe Noveliss will have to say it at least once.
Oh no, I don't know if I can say that. That sounds harder than the SwordCast one. See how I avoided it. And
yeah, I was about to. I was like, bro, should I expose him for that or not? I was like, no, I'll just let it go. I see what you did there, but it's all good. I think you saw me too. I was like, it's all
what do you
good.
mean by that?
Would you like to elaborate?
No.
Oh shit! The Bear season 3 is out. Fuck.
That's the chef show.
Yeah, bro. You would. Oh.
I never watched.
Would you hate this show or would you like it? I'm not sure.
No in between, one or the other.
Because there's one episode for sure. Because you were like a line chef, right?
Yeah.
There's one episode that would give you wouldn't be able to watch it. It would give you panic attack inducing anxiety, bro. Like imagine, imagine you're like in a high like traffic or like a high volume time, and the ticket machine like starts early, like. So they were doing like carry out tickets, but one of the ladies forgot to like turn it off. So they were getting like a bunch of call in orders before they actually opened.
Oh
so by the time they started, they had like, I need 70 like orders of fries and like 17 turkey sandwiches immediately. And the entire episode was like a one shot, just the camera following everybody around. And it was just like 30 minutes of just absolute chaos, dog.
Oh my gosh.
It was a fire episode, but I think for anybody who works in the service industry, you wouldn't be able to watch it. Like, it would be like a horror movie for y'all. Okay. Here's from Serial Sensei. How did the Blue collab come about? We talked about that already. You just hit him up, and I had that relationship was built already. What was your power level when you made the Cyberdyne Systems beat? It was high, dog. That one was a breakthrough because I wouldn't say I was stumped, but like when I make beats, and I'm wondering if the other producers can relate. Like I talked about this before, I think. Like there's always like I start off with some excitement. I start off with like, oh, the creative juices are going. I got something going here. And then I run into what is I inevitably run into the trash wall where it's like I listen to it too much and I'm like, bro, this shit weak, dog. Like something happened where I just can't hear it the same anymore.
Facts.
And for me, it's like this is the make or break piece there are so many beats in my computer right now that are just stuck at the trash wall. And the make or break moment is if you can break through the trash wall, we're going to the finish line. Like if you can break through the trash wall and find that money sound, that one thing that kind of pierces through that wall,
right,
and the beat comes alive.
The trash wall.
And then we're good. So when I broke through the trash wall on this one, I was like, yeah, that's it. That's it, bro. I was powered up for sure. If you could pick only one video or one of these songs to do a music video for, which one would that be?
If I could pick just one song, I would do an arcade video for Hyper Combo.
Yeah. Too bad Elzai lives in California.
Yep.
It's not like we thought about that exact thing and tried to make it happen, kind of. All right, so another one from Serial Sensei. This is the last one, I think, for now. So I'm going to go ahead and put this before anybody else pops in. And time. Psh. Right. Bruh, what a great question by Serial Sensei. I don't know the answer. So the question is, who do we have to bribe, beat up, talk to get Hyper Combo on a fighting game soundtrack, dog? Whoever.
And you know what's gonna happen is this Capcom Marvel fighting game collection is gonna come out. There's gonna be rappers on there that don't even play fighting games. There's gonna be music that doesn't fit the game.
Yep.
And it's just like, guys.
Shogun, I know you're in the
man.
You're in the fighting game community. Can you get us in contact with like Yips or whatever that guy's name is? Or Justin Wong. I follow Justin Wong on Twitter. I tried to shout him out, bro. I was like, "Yo, Justin Wong, we got you."
There's a Justin Wong.
Yeah, there's a Justin Wong bar, dog.
We need to.
That's how deep in the nerd trenches we are.
Justin Wong posted right next to the pro athletes.
Dog, let's go.
Come on, man. We need it. Yeah, this song belongs on that.
Facts.
For sure.
So I might try to hit up Justin Wong again and see if he gives a fuck. He probably doesn't, but. And he likes hip hop though. Like he's like into this shit. So let's try to bug him.
Yeah.
And then the last part of this question, or two parts here. How many tracks in total did you guys record before you cut it down to what we heard on the album?
It was only like a song or two that didn't make the cut.
Yeah. There was one song that flat out like we decided not to do. And there were other songs that there were at least two other beats that we were thinking about making, but we didn't get around to it.
Right.
As a matter of fact, we actually recorded a verse to one. Remember, Jarrell had a verse on the one.
Yeah, I do remember that song.
Yeah. But we couldn't quite pull it together. That's okay though, because I got plans.
I remember that one.
I got plans for that beat, bro. That shit. I got plans. It'll see the light of day at some point. And then for Noveliss, this is the last question here. Which beat gave you the meanest stink face when you heard it?
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's hard. Let me see here. Which beat? I always think of that kid and that meme.
Bruh, yes.
Which beat? Man, that's so hard. It probably A steak face. There's different faces, right? There's the you know, when a beat surprises you by sounding the way that it does, and then there's the face palm where I'm just like, you know what I'm saying. But I think the stink face beats were the protagonists in Cyberdyne Systems. Those two beats were even. I think my favorite beat on this whole project is still Pack Tight and Microchip, but Cyberdyne Systems and the protagonists were the ones where I was like,
yeah, now because they punch you in the face.
Yeah, I think that's why.
Them niggas hit you hard as hell in the nose, bro. Like, nah, nigga, this shit's sweet, bro. Like, it's one of those beats. Like, if I was still in the battle beat scene, then I'm not anymore. I'm not really into that anymore. I used to do this thing when I battled where I would have like a really, really weird sample. Like, I would go for like the surprise factor. I would have a weird ass sample, and then I would like, no, I know what you're thinking. Like, oh, this is a corny ass nigga on some video game. Nah, nigga, this shit's sweet. Nigga. God damn it. And Protagonist is one of them joints where it's like, nah, this shit cold. Stop. I don't want to hear it, bro. This shit is sweet only. I don't want to hear nothing else about it. Shit is fire.
Yeah, I would definitely say those for sure.
Yeah. I know you didn't ask me, but I think my answer would definitely be the Protagonist and also Steel Pack Tight and Microchip. The way that bass comes in,
bro,
it's fire. And if I do say so myself, bro, I love some little known lore about that song.
Oh man, and the stuff you played.
Yeah, so like, I think this song does a great job of being a very obvious homage to Nujabes without like directly biting Newton. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's because there's no samples in it. Like, there's no samples. I didn't sample the original song at all. But I just found some stuff that sounded similar, and I had the drum beat is close, but I added some stuff to it to make it unique. I think the bongo drums, I added those intentionally to like really bring it out. But the thing that I did, if you listen to the Battle Cry beat, there's this weird kick drum. Yeah, there's this weird ass kick where like there's this like cricket like ribbit sound, like frog thing happening with the kick. And for the life of me, I could not find a kick with a snare. And I couldn't find a snare that sounded like that. Matter of fact, let me see if I can. This might be worth exploring, so y'all know what I'm talking about. So we've got Battle Cry, Nujabes. I'm sure there's gonna be a commercial first, as usual. Oh no! So you hear that? I didn't know what the fuck that was. There was no kick. There was no snare that made that sound. So what I did was, oops, wrong song. For our version,
hey yo.
Yeah.
Sharp like the edge of my past, distorted in its purest form. I'm only get tainted by.
Fuck. I promise I made these beats. I just can't find the instrumentals. Maybe it's under iTunes.
I promise I made these beats.
I did. So let's see. There's a beat here called Shonen Jump.
I think I know what beat that is.
Yeah, this one. The reason why I named it Shonen Jump is because of this part. Yeah. I'm so creative, bro. Let me talk my shit right quick. Yeah, you hear that 90s, that crisscross? Crisscross will make you, the back daddy make you, the biggity. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't a song I was looking for, though. Bro, I'm going a long way for this. My bad. I promise it'll be worth it.
Hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah, sharp like an edge on the samurai.
That's how it sounds.
Ooh, Easter egg.
Molded into the weapon I'm looking at. The illest path.
Get out the way, bro. Move.
Sword in its purest form.
Jesus fucking Christ. This shit don't exist.
Then as the illest path. There is only one master bestowed this particular craft. The legend is catching up to me
I know
now.
where I can find it. It's at the end. It's at the end of the verse where
The
it's
blood of the bull, chip on my shoulder.
okay. So you hear that? Meow. Meow. That's literally me making that sound. Like I'm literally in the microphone. Meow. Meow. Because I couldn't figure out any other way to do it.
It sounds great.
Shit sounds fire. Yeah. What was even the question? Why am I doing all this?
I'm dead serious. I don't know.
Oh, the meanest stink face. Yeah, this beat. Whatever. All right, that's all we got, man. You got any final observations about the record?
I do not. It's out. If you haven't listened to it, man, check it out. Cyberpunk Rhapsody, Noveliss and Hero, man. It's out there and it's people love it so far.
Yes.
So I hope you guys all listen to it. And
please be careful with our baby, bro. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you, bro. Like, this grief thing. I mean, I don't mean to sound melodramatic, but like the grief process of like handing this thing that you love out into the world and you can't control how people respond to it.
It's real.
It is real, bro. Like, understand that we put a lot into it. Understand that it's like it's us bearing our souls. You ain't got to love it. You don't have to like lie to us, but just be empathetic. Just understand is all we ask.
It's our baby.
Yeah.
Hey man, we appreciate y'all. Next time we have an episode, we'll talk about the Acolyte.
Yes. Did you see the last episode?
Nope, I didn't see it yet. So shut your mouth. I'll probably watch it when I go home. But yeah, man, Cyberpunk Rhapsody, it's out. Check it out. There may or may not be an official music video dropping next week. I don't know. Something about being on a roof or something. Something. I don't know.
I heard V from Cyberpunk 2077 showed up.
I don't know.
And that nigga got locks or something. and a glowing sword.
I don't know. Maybe.
Whatever.
Before we get out of here, I think Apocalypse might be my favorite Marvel character. We talked about that. I don't know, man. I just like Apocalypse, man.
He's good, man. He's
a character.
Like I like him much better now than I used to.
I think that this whole new backstory for him that came through the Ten of Swords story, I think added
so much.
It obviously made his character sweeter now, but it almost like it justifies everything, his behavior for the past.
Wait a minute.
Not every. I won't say justify.
Justify maybe not the right word.
I won't
it
say
explains
justify.
it.
It explains it. Yeah, that's a better way to put it.
Yeah,
but it makes sense because now you're not looking at him,
just not like a cackling
crazy
madman.
person. Yeah. Now he kind of had a purpose
for sure.
Even though what he was doing was wrong,
yeah.
but now he kind of has a purpose and it makes more sense. And then of course the current version of him now is pretty dope.
You just reminded me that I need to finish. I've finished Ten of Swords, but now I need to get into.
Ten of Swords was I still just always look at that storyline. It's just I don't know. It's
fire. No, it's fire.
So good.
I need to finish Reign of X so I can get into the new stuff that's going on right now.
Yeah, so. Jay is what is it? Is it From the Ashes? Is that yeah?
I don't know. It might be.
There's some new X-Men comic coming out in July. Bruh.
Oh,
speaking of comics.
Yeah.
Speaking of comics, so I'm reading the Darth Maul. There's a Darth Maul run. That's really good. And then there's Ultimate Spider-Man is fire. But there is comic this came out last week. It's called Air of Apocalypse. Apocalypse, like bringing people. He's bringing people together to hold like a tournament to see who's gonna be the new Apocalypse.
Interesting.
So, yeah, it seems pretty dope. And then
seems very connected to like the Ten of Swords
yes,
tournament
for sure, definitely.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in that, where that goes. And then Image Comics has a Transformers run right now that is incredible.
Bro,
So
Image
good.
be having some fire ass shit.
Bro,
Image
so-
and IDW, all them
Yeah.
indie comic book joints are hard, bro.
Yeah, Image has a crazy Transformers comic right now. The guy who made the wrestling comic we talked about, Do a Powerbomb, he was doing the art for he writes it, but he was doing the art for the first few issues, and like, bro, they're like Soundwave, like powerbombing Optimus Prime. They're literally doing wrestling moves on each other. It's crazy. But yeah, man, Cyberpunk Rhapsody, it's out now. Go listen to it, check it out, tell your friends about it, post it. Release party July 18th, man, in Detroit.
Sir.
If you're local, if you're in the city,
Steamboy told me he bought a ticket.
let's get it.
So
we got a SwordCast meetup.
Yeah, we gotta say what's up to our boy.
Yeah, but shout out to him, shout out to y'all, man. And the Discord, man. The Discord is you guys hold us down, so
For sure.
shout out to y'all. Thank you for listening. Peace.